This is what I think Vati would sound like if he tried doing his lore videos in Elden Ring Nightreign. As you first enter into this decrepit building that closely resembles the round table, you realize this actually is the round table. The way you can tell this is the table is actually round. And as you notice the chairs, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, you see this one is missing, and this one is actually broken. Now this begs the question, why is this broken? And the simple and most logical answer is because of this. When you're queuing, players have this instinct to actually break all the chairs. But there's still one mystery. Where was this chair on the round table? And that's where I'm going to be taking you to show you where this missing chair is around the round table. And why is it missing? If you go through the hallway, you will notice there's a doorway. Go through it and just stop here and look to your left, and you will see the remains of what once was the rectangle table. And as you can see, there are plates and chairs, but there's no meal. It's been left alone, finished. The candles, let me just go up there. The candles you can see are not lit, but the fireplace is, and funnily enough, so is this one. The last flame reference to Dark Souls, maybe. But anyway, enough reaching. If you come to this part, you will see the last missing table. And who is there? It's none other than himself, the Executor. And it's really interesting because his chair seems a little different. As the Executor has back pain, he actually doesn't use the back part of the chair. This is to keep his stance straight. And this is proven because when you interact with him as he's painting, this is what he says. He paints a depiction of the Erd tree. It does not yet look finished. So he doesn't actually talk. Which asks the next question. Why can he not speak? Now, going back to this library of abandoned books which nobody even reads, you'll see paintings, various paintings of the Erd tree in its magnanimous form everywhere around the building. There's even one on here, a small one. However, compared to the Executor's painting, this one is quite different. Because if we run back to his painting, you will notice his one has a black line coming out from the middle, making its way upwards, despite his brush actually being white. So the black marking, what is this? Well, it's pretty easy to say what that is. Because if you look back here, you see these black trees, which once were, you've guessed it again, Erd trees. So, since this being the round table, you would assume everyone should gather here. However, that is not the case. Actually, it's far from it, as everyone is in their own places. You have her standing there. She does not like to sit. You can tell by this because she is not sitting despite there being a chair right here. And again, if you look closely, you can faintly see the outlines of the Erd tree. So what do they all have against the Erd Tree? What do these heroes really think about it? Is it just another gimmick? Was this Radagon's doing? I don't even know who that is. It's very lonely for this table to be here in the center of this decrepit room. As you can see, it is worn out dearly. The edges are crumbling. The middle has been assaulted by numerous swords, and it's crazy because these swords are actually from the fallen lords of Cinder. However, despite this room being so empty, whenever a player wishes to commence an expedition, he must come here, signaling that no matter how far away from this table you are, eventually you will always have to come back here if you want to move forward. And I think that's kind of lonely for the roundhouse table, as it's only used when needed and not used just for company. Because what is a gathering table if there's no people to gather? And no matter how the champions feel about the round table, whether they want to be around it or not, it doesn't defeat the fact that they need it as much as it needs them. Because without the roundhouse table, they're simply talking to a brick wall, trapped within this sanctuary. Now, it's not an uncommon theme for the roundhouse area to be empty, as NPCs and playable characters are all in their own rooms and different areas. As you see the bird guy down there tending to his feathers, we'll give him some privacy. But it's the fact that everyone tries to actively disassociate with the roundhouse table, and this may be for numerous reasons. So why are the roundhouse tables in the Soul series like this? If they are the main places for us to gather, why are they so empty? And it's just crazy to think that in the middle of it you see this bright glowing magma of souls and light, somewhere to call home, a warm feeling that all the champions are very familiar with. As you can see, the weapons of all the fallen lords beforehand, they would all be here. And now, it's just empty, a decrepit graveyard of lost souls.